Hello friends, in last lecture we started new chapter, that is laws of exponent. Over there we saw some basic question based on laws of exponents. So here, before I move to the further questions, let us discuss all the laws that we discussed in first lecture in short. So very first law was, if x raised to m multiplied by x raised to n, then it will become x raised to m plus n. Second law was, x raised to m divided by x raised to n is equal to x raised to m minus n. Third law was, x raised to m raised to n, so x raised to m multiplied by n or mn is the same thing. So first law is known as product law, this is quotient law, and this is power law. Then after that we had x into y raised to m is equal to x raised to m into y raised to m. Then fifth one was, x upon y raised to m is equal to x raised to m upon y raised to m. These I can say were basic laws, and on these with the help of the results of this we have some more useful result, that is next one I do write sixth one or whatever. X raised to 0 is equal to 1, then x raised to minus m is equal to 1 upon x raised to m, or x raised to m is equal to 1 upon x raised to minus m. Okay, then eighth one I can say x upon y raised to minus m is equal to y upon x raised to m. Then ninth one, if x raised to m is equal to x raised to is y raised to m, then x is equal to y. Okay, then x is equal to y. 10th one, if x raised to m is equal to x raised to n, then m is equal to n. Okay, over here two quantities are equal with same power, so bases will be equal. Over here two quantities are equal with same base, so powers must be equal. So these were the basic 10 laws. Then this x root x, I give you that root x is equal to x raised to 1 by 2. Then this was the nth root of x, that is x raised to 1 upon n. Okay, till then we discuss the question up to the 10th. When we come to this, then we'll discuss these ones again. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you, and now we'll see some questions further practice on these laws. Okay, so in last lecture we saw the question example number 8. Now we'll see example number 9. So that I'm taking from page number 61, example 9. Okay, it is given, if x raised to, if a raised to x is equal to b, then b raised to y is equal to c, and c raised to z is equal to a, then show that x, y, z is equal to 1. Okay, so three relations are given: a raised to x equal to b, then b raised to y is equal to c, then c raised to z is equal to a. Now you can see here this is a, here this is a. We have c 2 times, we have b 2 times as a base. So let us see how to solve this type of question. See, you can start with any one. You can start with either a raised to x equal to b, or b raised to y equal to c, or c raised to z equal to a. You can start with any one of the given information. So here we'll start with a raised to x equal to b. Now here you can see the power of b is y and if the power of b is y, then that can be written as equal to c. And over here we do not have power of b equal as y. So what I am doing in next step, I will do something like this. I will take the power y on both sides. This. Okay. See, as we do, suppose we have x equal to 3, we do write x square is equal to 9. That means we actually taking power 2 on both sides. Okay, so in the similar way here I am taking power y on both sides, and why I am doing so, because I have this information b raised to y equal to c, and I want to replace that b raised to y equal to c. For that I need the power of b as y, and so I am taking the power y on both sides. So here I can apply the power law, a raised to x raised to y, so I can write a raised to xy, and here b raised to y. In next step what I will do, I do write a raised to xy as it is, and at the place of b raised to y I do write c. Okay, here I do write c. So first of all here I use the power law, so here I'll write x raised to m raised to n is equal to x raised to mn, and over here I do write b raised to y is equal to c, that is given. Okay, why I took b raised to y equal to c? Because it is given. Now again here I can see I have c raised to z is equal to a, but here we have c alone, there isn't any power z on that. So what I will do next, I will make the power z on both sides as I did over here. I took power y on both sides over here, so here I'll take power z on both sides. So here I do write a raised to xy raised to z is equal to c raised to z. Okay, c raised to z. So this again, if I apply the power law, this will become a raised to xyz, and over here it will become c raised to z. So here as I apply the power law once again, I do write it once again. A raised to m raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. Okay, so here it is a raised to xyz is equal to c raised to z. Okay, now c raised to z is equal to a. So here I do write a raised to xyz is equal to, at the place of c raised to z I do write a, and here I do write c raised to z is equal to a, that is given. Okay, so now what I need to find x, y, z value of. So here it is a, so but obvious I can write this as equal to a raised to 1, isn't it? Now you can see the powers, sorry, bases on both sides are same. As the bases are same, but obvious powers will be equal. So therefore I can write x, y, z is equal to 1. And here which law I have actually applied? I applied if x raised to m is equal to x raised to n, then m is equal to n. That means in two quantities are equal, if two quantities are equal with the same base, then powers must be equal, and this was the required to show, this was required to prove. So here I can write hence proved, hence proved. Okay, so please note it down, then we will see the next question. Okay, now we'll see the next question, that is example number 10, page number 62. Example 10, page number 62. Okay, the question is, if 3 raised to x minus 3 raised to x minus 1 is equal to 18, then find the value of x raised to x. If 3 raised to x minus 3 raised to x minus 1 is equal to 18, then you need to find the value of x raised to x. So in short, first of all, we need to find the value of x, then and only it is possible to get this value. So let us see how to solve. See, here we have 3 raised to x minus 3 raised to x minus 1 is equal to 18. So very first thing that I can apply over here, quotient law, actually in reverse direction. See, whenever I ask you to remember any law, you should remember in both the ways. For example, you remember the quotient law in this way only, x raised to m minus n is equal to x raised to, sorry, quotient law you actually remember in this way. So x raised to m minus n. You should remember in this way as well. That means x raised to m minus n can be written in this way. Okay. So here I can write therefore 3 raised to x minus 3 raised to x upon 3 raised to 1. Okay. When I say divide, that means upon is equal to 18. See, very first thing, as we always do in this type of sum, see here we need to find x. X is over here in the powers or in the exponents. So my target is to make the bases same on both sides. So now see, here it is 3 raised to x minus 3 raised to x upon 3 raised to 1, that is 3 only. Now can I say 3 raised to x can be taken common? If I take 3 raised to x common, I will get here 1 minus 1 upon 3 is equal to 18. Okay, as I told you, I have to convert both the side in such a way that bases are same, and that is possible if and only if I have the terms containing x on one side and all the numeric values on the another side. And to do so, I have to take 3 raised to x common. So this gives you 3 raised to x, and here 3 minus 1, that is 2 by 3 is equal to 18. Okay, now I can take this 3 and 2 on that side. So here I can write 3 raised to x is equal to 18 multiplied by 3 upon 2. So ultimately what I will get, see here I applied that law. So I am taking in this bracket, and further I am solving over here. Okay, now 3 raised to x, therefore I can write 3 raised to x is equal to, if I simplify this, this will become 9. And 9 into 3, that is 27. So I can write 3 raised to x is equal to 3 raised to 3. Now, as I told you, you must remember the cubes and squares, unless you will waste your time finding the factors of 27. So now here the bases are same, so definitely I can say x is equal to 3, and here I use which law? If x raised to m is equal to x raised to n, then what? M is equal to n. Which law? This law I used over here. When the two quantities are equal with the same base, powers must be equal. So here I got x equal to 3. Now that was not my question. They are in the question, they are not asking to find the value of x. They are asking to find the value of x raised to x. So now x raised to x is equal to 3 raised to 3, that is 27. So this is my final answer. So please note it down. Okay, now next question we'll take from page number 62. Page 62, example number 12th. Example number 12th. It says if 6 raised to a if 6 raised to a is equal to 2, comma 6 raised to b is equal to 5, and 6 raised to q is equal to 15, then express q in terms of a and b. Okay, so we have to write or express q in terms of a and b. So we'll start with this. Let us see how to solve this. See, again the matter is same, that anyhow we have to write the, see, we need q in terms of a and b. That means here we have 6 raised to q. Now anyhow we have to represent this 15 in terms of 6 raised to something. Okay. Then only it is possible to compare the powers. That means we have to make the bases same. Now here 15 is actually, I can write 3 into 5. No, why I wrote 3 into 5? Because 5 I have in terms of 6 raised to something. Okay, so 6 raised to q is equal to 3 multiplied by 6 raised to b. Now what about this 3? What about this 3? We haven't any expression in terms of 6 raised to something for 3. So here instead of 3 I can write 6 upon 2. Okay, 3 can be written as 6 upon 2. Why I wrote 6 upon 2? Because ultimately I need 6. Okay, ultimately I need base as 6. Now what about 2? 2 is already given 6 raised to a. So here 6 raised to q, at the place of 6 I do write as it is, that is 6 raised to 1, this 6 raised to b, and at the place of 2 I do write 6 raised to a. Okay, now all the terms on the right hand side are also in the form of 6 raised to something. Now I'll apply the laws. Here first of all I can apply the product law, so 6 raised to 1 plus b upon 6 raised to a. So here I can write that law, that x raised to m into x raised to n is equal to x raised to m plus n. Okay. Now over here 6 raised to q, here I can write 6 raised to 1 plus b minus a. Here I applied x raised to m divided by x raised to n is equal to x raised to m minus n. So this is x raised to m. This complete quantity is m and this is n. So m minus n, 1 plus b minus n. Now here you can see both left hand side and right hand side have the same base. As they have same base, but obviously we can say powers must be equal. So here I do write, therefore q is equal to 1 plus b minus a. And over here which law I used? If x raised to m is equal to x raised to n, then m is equal to n. Okay, so this is the finally our answer, q in terms of a and b. So please note it down. Okay, now we'll see example number 13. It's second question. First you have to do for your homework from the same page. Example number 13th, its second part. Okay, we have to prove that or show that x raised to a plus b to prove that or show that x raised to a plus b whole square into x raised to b plus c whole square into x raised to c plus a whole square divided by x raised to a into x raised to b into x raised to c, x raised to a into x raised to b into x raised to c whole raised to 4 is equal to 1. That we have to show. Okay, so see, whenever it is asked to prove something, we always start from the left hand side or right hand side. So definitely here it is easy to start from the left hand side. So let us see its solution. We'll start from the LHS, left hand side. I do write first of all LHS as it is, that is x raised to a plus b whole square, then x raised to b plus c whole square, then x raised to c plus a whole square. Okay, and whole divided by x raised to a, x raised to b, x raised to c. Now this we have to prove is equal to 1. X raised to a plus b whole square. Okay, so here there is a power to the power. So I can write x raised to 2 into a plus b as it's a power law. So I'll multiply the powers. X raised to a plus b will so a plus b will multiply with 2. Then x raised to 2 into b plus c. Similarly, x raised to 2 into c plus a. Okay, now over here it will become c. Over here it is 4. So here again, see, first of all this I can apply the product law over here. X raised to a into x raised to b into x raised to c. So I can write x raised to a plus b plus c raised to 4. Okay, now this become x raised to 2a plus 2b. Okay, then x raised to 2b plus 2c, then x raised to 2c plus 2a, and in the denominator I can write x raised to 4a plus 4b plus 4c, or if you want to add one more step we can write in this way. Okay, x raised to 4 a plus b plus c. Now over here in the numerator you can see the bases are same, so we can add the powers. So here I can write x raised to 2a plus 2b plus 2b plus 2c plus 2c plus 2a whole divided by x raised to 4a plus 4b plus 4c. Okay, now next step in the left hand side. So here I do write LHS is equal to. Now in the numerator you can see this is 2a, this is 2a, so 4a. 2b plus 2b, 4b. 2c plus 2c, 4c. So here I do get x raised to 2a, sorry, x raised to 4a plus 4b plus 4c. And in the denominator again I do get the same thing. Okay, x raised to 4a plus 4b plus 4c in the numerator, same in the denominator. Now here I can cancel them directly because the quantities in the numerator and denominator are same. As we cancel the quantities in the numerator and denominator which are same, I'll get 1. Therefore I can write LHS is equal to RHS. Hence proved. Okay, so please note it down. Then we'll see the next question. Okay, now we'll see next question number, next question, that is question number 15th, page number 63. Question number 15th, page number 63. Okay, question is find the value of, it's on page number 63, example number 15th. Find the value of, okay, one expression is given, its value we have to obtain. It is 1 upon 1 plus x raised to 1 plus x raised to b minus a plus x raised to c minus a plus 1 upon 1 plus x raised to a minus b c minus b, a minus b plus x raised to c minus b plus 1 upon 1 plus x raised to a minus c and b minus c. Okay, here it is b minus c plus x raised to a minus c. So it's not difficult, but obviously it will take some time, but it is not difficult. So think for a while that how you will start that, then I will give you its solution. Okay, it's not difficult. Simply, first of all, here I can apply the quotient law. Okay, in reverse direction. So it is x raised to b minus a, I can write x raised to b upon a. Similarly, this is c minus a, I can write x raised to c upon a, and so on. So let us see. This will become 1 upon 1 plus x raised to b upon x raised to a plus x raised to c upon x raised to a plus 1 upon 1 plus x raised to a upon x raised to b plus x raised to c upon x raised to b plus 1 upon x raised to b upon x raised to c plus x raised to a upon x raised to c. Okay, here throughout in these three terms I applied a single law, and law was x raised to, I am writing in the reverse direction itself, m minus n is equal to x raised to m upon x raised to n. That law I applied throughout. Okay, now over here you can see the denominators are same. So if I simplify this, I am talking about only about the denominator. Let me explain you over here. See, this is denominator of the first term is 1 upon x raised to b, sorry, 1 plus x raised to b upon x raised to a, x raised to c upon x raised to a. So if I have to add these three, either I have to take the denominator over here x raised to a. So instead of 1 I can write this, and then I can add this. So what I will get, x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c upon this. So when I simplify the denominator of the first term, I do get this. In the similar way, I will simplify the denominators of all three terms. So here I do get, numerator remains as it is, that is 1, and over here I will get x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c whole upon x raised to a. Okay, plus similarly over here numerator remains 1, and in the denominator LCM will be x raised to b. So here I do get x raised to b plus x raised to a plus x raised to c. Okay, I'm taking a little bit dark, doing a little bit dark so that you can understand this is the main denominator. Similarly, over here I do get 1 upon, okay, because numerator remains as it is 1 upon, and over here what I will get, uh, denominator as x raised to c, and here I do write x raised to c plus x raised to b plus x raised to a. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, that was the next step. Okay, now if you observe carefully, here we have x raised to a plus x raised to b, x raised to c. Similarly, over here we have x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c. As well as we have the same thing over here, x raised to c, x raised to b, x raised to a. That means we have three terms, x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c. And I can say numerator of this denominator in these three terms are same. Now this how to solve? See, this actually I have 1 upon, okay, I have 1 upon p upon q. Okay, so this q will come over here. So ultimately this becomes q upon p. If I simplify this, it will become q upon p. So this x raised to a comes in the numerator. Here x raised to b come over here. Here x raised to c comes over here. So what I will get in next step, let me solve over here. Okay, so therefore here I can write, I will get x raised to a upon x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c plus x raised to b upon x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c plus x raised to c upon x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c. Okay, here I did two things altogether. First, I took this in the numerator in these three, as well as I wrote these three terms in the powers in a different order. That means in the same order, x raised to a, x raised to b, x raised to c. Now again here you can see these three denominators are same. So when the denominators are same, it is always easy to add the fraction. So here I do write x raised to a plus x raised to b plus x raised to c, and over here again I will get the same thing. Okay, now you can see the numerators and denominators are same, so this will cancel out and finally I will get. So this is my final answer. So please note it down. Okay, after this we'll see example number 16 from the same page. Okay, next question I'm taking from page 63, example 16th. Okay, question is, if 9 raised to n multiplied by 3 square, 9 raised to n multiplied by 3 square multiplied by 3 raised to minus n upon 2 minus n upon 2 raised to minus 2. Okay, 3 raised to minus n upon 2 raised to minus 2 minus 27 raised to n divided by whole divided by 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 2 cube is equal to 1 upon 729. Then find the value of m minus n, or prove that. So here, instead of proving, I'm asking you to find the value of this. Okay, that question, the question that is given in terms of to prove, can we convert it in terms of find the value of m minus n. So the question is 9 raised to n multiplied by 3 square multiplied by 3 raised to minus n by 2 raised to minus 2 minus 27 raised to n upon 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 2 cube is equal to 1 upon 729. Now, with a first look, it is very clear that this can be written in terms of 3 raised to something. Before that, as we need m minus n, and you can see that m and n are both in the terms of exponent, so anyhow we have to make the LHS and RHS with the same base. That is the very first thing that should come in your mind whenever it is asked to find the values of unknown, and unknowns are already in the terms of powers. Here n is in the power, here m is in the power, again n and n are in the power. So that is the very clear thing, that we have to make the LHS and RHS with the same base. This is the first thing. Now, second thing, here it is easy to convert this term in 3 raised to something. This is already in terms of power of 3. That is also in the power of 3. That can be written in the power of 3. 27 is 3 cube. Okay, this is also in the power of 3. 729, if you know the divisibility of rule, this is divisible by 3, so it is possible. This is divisible by 9 also, so it is possible to write this term in the power of 3. Only this term might make some trouble, or might be this makes the question little bit easier. So the very first thing, we'll start converting the terms in the power of 3. Okay, so this is the first step. Here this I can write 3 square 3 raised, yes, 3 square was right, raised to n multiplied by 3 square multiplied by, here I can apply the power law, that is 3 raised to minus n by 2 multiplied by minus 2. Okay, minus 3 raised to 3 raised to n divided by, okay, divided by 3 raised to 3m into 8. Okay, right now I'm writing it 8. Now this 729, if you find the factors of 729 in this way, you'll get what power of 3 is equal to 729. So I'll start from 3. Okay, now 81 I already know it is 3 raised to 4. So this ultimately become 3 raised to 6. If you are not able to connect that this is 3 raised to 4, find all the factors. Okay, so here it is 1 upon 3 raised to 6. Okay, now next step, here 3 raised to 2n, power to power, so I'll apply the power law. Multiplied by 3 square, multiplied by this minus minus plus, and this 2 and 2 will cancel out, so ultimately here I will get 3 raised to n. Here again minus 3 raised to 3n divided by, okay, here it is 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 8 is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. Okay, as it was in denominator, I took it in numerator with negative power. Now over here, see 2n plus n. If I apply the power law, this will become 3 raised to 2n plus n, and this 3 square I am writing as it is minus 3 raised to n upon 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 8 is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. Okay, now here this will become 3 raised to 3n into 9 minus 3 raised to 3n, not n, it is 3 raised to 3n divided by 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 8 is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. Okay, now you can see 3 raised to 3n is common, or in other words you can say this is 9 times of 3 raised to 3n, this is 1 times of 3 raised to 3n. So 9 minus 1 gives you 8 3 raised to 3n, or if you want to take it common, that also works. 3 raised to 3n has been taken common, so 9 minus 1, and denominator we have 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 8 is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. Okay, now 3 raised to 3n multiplied by 8 upon 3 raised to 3m multiplied by 8 is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. See, when I started that question, I told you either it may become makes up trouble, or it will make the solution easy. So here actually this 2 raised to 3 or 8 makes your calculation little bit easier, because now this 8 and 8 will I can cancel out. So this will cancel out. So here now if I apply the quotient law, I can write 3 raised to 3n minus 3m is equal to 3 raised to minus 6. Now I arrived at position where the bases are same, that I discussed when I start the question, that anyhow we have to make the bases same on both sides. So here bases are same, so definitely I can say powers must be same. Okay, now if I take 3 common, okay, if I take 3 common, here I will get n minus m is equal to minus 6. So ultimately answer is n minus m is equal to minus 2. So can we say this is our final answer? No. Why no? Because we need m minus n, and here I have n minus m. So for that what I have to do? I have to multiply throughout by minus 1. So when I do this, here I'll get m minus n is equal to 2. So this is my answer. I need to find m minus n. I have obtained that m minus n. So please note it down. Okay, now next question we'll see from page number 64, example 17. Page 64, example 17th. Question is, prove that a raised to minus 1, prove that a raised to minus 1 upon a raised to minus 1 plus b raised to minus 1 plus b raised to minus 1, sorry, plus again we have a raised to minus 1 upon a raised to minus 1 minus b raised to minus 1 is equal to 2b square upon 2b square upon b square minus a square. Okay, that you have to prove. So again, as there is a question to prove, we can start either from left side or right hand side. So here we will start from the left hand side. So let us see, LHS is equal to a raised to minus 1 upon a raised to minus 1 plus b raised to minus 1 plus a raised to minus 1 upon a raised to minus 1 minus b raised to minus 1. So very first thing that comes in my mind, that a raised to minus 1 is in both the terms, so I can take that as a common. So I took a raised to minus 1 common. So here I left with 1 upon, okay, 1 upon a raised to minus 1 plus b raised to minus 1 plus 1 upon a raised to minus 1 minus b raised to minus 1. Okay, so this I wrote as 1 upon a. Now over here this is 1 upon a plus 1 upon b. Okay, plus 1 upon a minus 1 upon b. Okay, 1 upon a plus, simply I applied this law. Which law? X raised to minus m is equal to 1 upon x raised to m. That means whatever power is in the negative, if I want to make it positive, I have to take it from numerator to denominator or from denominator to numerator. So this is 1 upon a. Now over here LCM will be AB. So here I will get b plus a plus. Here again LCM will be AB. Here I will get, okay, this is 1 upon. So here LCM will be AB. Over here LCM will be AB. So here I will get b plus a plus, here it is 1, and here LCM again will be AB. LCM of these two. Okay, 1 upon a and 1 upon. So here I will get b minus a. Okay, now we discussed this type of sum already. This AB comes in the numerator. Here again AB comes in the numerator. Okay, so next step. Here I can write 1 upon a, and over here I can write AB upon b plus a plus AB upon b minus a. Okay, AB upon b plus a, AB upon b minus a. Again from here you can see AB is common in this and this, so I can take that AB common. So LHS is equal to 1 upon a into AB, and over here I'll left with 1 upon b plus a plus 1 upon b minus a. So here a and a I can cancel, so I left with b. Now over here again I can take LCM. So here b plus a into b minus a, that will be the LCM. Okay, now over here I will get b minus a plus b plus a. So b multiplied by, now in the numerator minus a plus a will cancel out, so I will get 2b, and over here I will get b square minus a square, and when I multiply, ultimately I will get 2b square upon b square minus a square, which is actually equal to right hand side RHS. So here I can say LHS is equal to RHS. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. So I do write hence proved or HP. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay, you can. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you, but let me explain you this once again. First of all, I took a raised to minus 1 common because this was in the numerator of both the terms. Then simply I applied the law, this law, x raised to minus m is equal to 1 upon x raised to m. Okay, so with the help of that, I wrote this a raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 upon a, as well as these four terms I wrote in this way. Then simply I took LCM over here as well as over here. Then it was a mixed fraction. Okay, so I wrote in the simple fraction. Then again here I took AB common, so I left with this. Again I took LCM. After taking LCM in the numerator, I got b minus a plus b plus a. So plus a minus a will cancel out. So 2b, and over here it applied the identity of a plus b, a minus b, that is square of first minus square of second, then 2b into b. So in that way I got the whatever it was asked to prove. So I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now it's homework time. So your homework, page number 62, example 11. Okay, then page number 62, example 11, then page number 63, then page number 63, example 13, its first. Okay, then page number 63, example, okay, it is also on page number 62, then page number 63, example number 14th. Okay, after that page number 63, example 15th and 16th as well. However, we did in the class, but still for your more practice you have to do this two sums once again. Please note it down. Take one more in this way. Okay, so that is all about this lecture. Now we'll meet in next lecture. Till then, bye. Thank you.